All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer, Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon, and we're going to talk about her right up here, Agatha Harkness, Agatha All Along, the new show that just came out. We got the first 2 episodes coming out this week. It's coming every Wednesday. until Halloween, or almost Halloween, October 30th.
The last
2, yeah, 8 and 9, which is nice. I like that. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get to full spoilers. So if you haven't watched it yet, hit pause on this video, go check out those episodes, come back, and let's chit chat about this new Marvel spinoff kind of show. So right off the bat, before we get anything, this is a spinoff of WandaVision. You know, so you kind of had to have seen WandaVision to know what's at least going on with this, like even who this character is. So you have some homework to do, you know, but WandaVision might be one of the better, if not the best.
No, it's not the second best.
I know you like Falcon Winter Soldier.
No, Loki.
Oh, Loki. Yeah, Loki's right. Loki's up there too. But yeah, definitely it's good. WandaVision is good. It's highly recommend it. But we're gonna get into this. It's pretty much Catherine Hahn's character is Agatha. It follows everything, all the events of WandaVision. She doesn't have powers, blah blah blah. So yeah, pretty much. If you haven't seen that, I don't know, but we're gonna talk about it. We'll start off with some of the things we might have liked. Start with you, Brian. What you think?
I thought it was cool that kind of tried to start off like what was it, the WandaVision? I thought that's cool. I mean, I thought Aubrey Plaza was fun. As soon as she kind of popped in there, I enjoyed seeing her. I really want to talk about episode 1 or episode 2 too.
We do both. Episode 1 and 2. You know,
I enjoyed episode 2. It went almost fast for me because I feel like they were doing so much was going on. I like the interaction with all the characters in episode 2. I thought that overall, I was worried because it's not connected to anything, and I felt like they alleviated my worry with that, because if it can stand as its own. It felt very much like Werewolf by Night, that type of thing. Like it's its own thing on the side, and it's okay to have its own thing on the side. So I thought that they did a good job with a lot of different things in the first 2 episodes. Well, the second episode. I'll talk about the other stuff later.
Okay. What about you, Brandman? What are the things you liked about it?
I liked kind of similar to what Brian said. I liked how it started off. It definitely reminded me of WandaVision, and it kind of left me curious as to where they were going with it. It was, you know, it was total like Mare of Easttown, how they started with it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. And I kind of expected that kind of like trippy like vibe where you don't quite understand what's going on, just because we're dealing with dark magic and the more supernatural side. So I appreciated that they went that route. It was kind of its own thing without feeling too much like WandaVision at the beginning, but the way they started it out made sense considering where we last left Agatha. I liked how Catherine Hahn got to display like a multitude of sides in a very limited amount of time. It says a lot about her as an actress. Aubrey Plaza, you know, is just great to watch in anything that she shows up in. And I know they were kind of keeping under wraps who or what exactly she was playing, so it was nice to finally get an answer behind that. And I think that the pacing of it was very like good. You know, like boom, we know this in the first episode and where Agatha's at. Boom, episode 2. Here's what's happening next. So it kind of seems like it's on that like going on that nicely paced incline where it's not really dawdling or wasting time on BS.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree that like the pacing I thought was pretty good, because I saw when before I hit live, like, or before I hit play, I was like, how long are these episodes? And one was like 42 and it was like 43 or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, they could be something good if they don't, screw it up with the pacing. But like for me, I thought the first episode was interesting because it starts off what we all seen in the trailer already, her being the detective kind of thing. I loved all the little Easter eggs. Man, there's so many Easter eggs in this freaking show so far, and it's only 2 episodes. And but I liked how they didn't carry on, because in WandaVision, I think a lot of people were put off by that second episode. They're like, what? I don't know what's going on. But they're doing this TV bit thing. Here it lasted the 1 episode. They did the TV bit kind of thing. She went through all her stages of the WandaVision before she reverted back to being Agatha, which I thought was pretty cool. And I thought it was like pretty well paced, but I did enjoy the second episode more, because that's when you get into like the actual witchy, hocus pocusy kind of stuff. The first one was just kind of getting you kind of caught up. Like, yeah, we have to bring this character back and blah, blah, blah. We have to, do stuff. So, but I'm glad they put the first 2 together. Because if I had to wait a second week for that second episode, I would have been a little bit more like, the first 2 episodes, it really is 1 episode, because it brings Agatha back and it sets up where the season's going to go. Because now we're getting into the story. We got all the players together, we got all the audience caught up, and we know what's going on. And now, the journey is about to start. So for me, episode 1 and 2 were really like a part 1, part 2. I just feel like this one's off to a good start so far for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not a perfect show. What are some of the things you didn't like, Brian?
Oh, so I didn't like that first episode. I like the way it started.
Okay.
I like the way it started. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, I really did. I found myself having to rewind it multiple times because I kept on wandering off. Like, I'm like,
really?
So what's going on again? Let me go back again. What's going on again? And then I felt like I actually didn't care. And then the last 8 or 9 minutes happened really quickly. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go back and look at this again. But I didn't really enjoy the first episode that much. I didn't hate it. I just didn't really enjoy it because I felt like it was just full of stuff I really didn't care about. I didn't care anymore. I was like, okay, I already know where they are because I watched all the WandaVision and I didn't care about these other characters yet. So, but then the second episode really engaged me. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to like this more. But I also walked into this not knowing if I was going to like this at all. Worried about the storytelling and worried about why I'm watching this at all. And I'm happy that I can say that I'm not going to turn this off immediately. I think it's definitely got me engaged, and it's going to be something that week to week it has a little leeway with me now. Yeah. It really does. But I do think there's still issues I've seen throughout prior stuff, and maybe it's also the fact that Catherine Hahn doesn't engage me. Just in everything she does, she has never engaged with me. Like, I'm just not a fan, and not that she's doing anything wrong or anything. It's just I'm not a huge fan, but I am a fan of a lot of other people that are in it. So I was like, okay, maybe I just need to shut up and just watch and see where it goes. Maybe, how about you just hold your own opinion until you really see what the whole journey, and go with the journey, because they're going to be characters that you don't necessarily engage with or really flow with, and they're going to be characters you really can, and just wait to see which side you're going to be on. So but I thought they did a good job introducing each of these characters. Overall, I thought it was really, really cool about the whole when Teen talked anything about his life, you couldn't see anything the way they did that, and how they bleeped it all out. I thought that was very, very cool overall. But yeah, I think my biggest thing was I wasn't engaged immediately in the episode 1.
Okay. At least it's episode 1 and episode 2, because that means it's going up. Yeah.
And I'm glad that they did it together, because if it was just one long episode, it was fine. It felt like they're real episodes, at least.
Yes.
And there's not like flying by, and 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's done. So why the hell
Yeah.
am I watching this?
Yeah. By the end of each episode, at least you're like, hey, something happened. You know, rather than you're like, oh, nothing happened for 40 minutes, and then the last 2 minutes is when they actually did something. So yeah, but okay. Brandman, what didn't you like about it?
There seemed to be a 180 that they pulled pretty quickly with the teen character, where he went from kind of like trying to steal from Agatha to like basically being a huge fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of jarring for me a little bit. I think that what I liked about the first episode, I can see how it could also kind of work against it, because it almost seemed like I could see how people could almost find it to be too similar to WandaVision, even though I appreciated it. But I could see how they could have gone a different route with it, because, like I said, it was essentially Mare of Easttown. And the first episode of WandaVision was what, like, I Love Lucy or I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah. So I don't know
wasn't the fake, because the fake thing wasn't it Agnes of Easttown or something like that?
Yeah,
like
Agnes of Easttown.
Yeah, so it was like something they legit
like that,
yeah. So yeah, it's like right on, spot on what you said.
Much as I myself appreciated it, but I could see why that might be a little off-putting for people. I think those were my main things. I think a lot of the witch characters in the second episode, I could see how they could kind of be a little tropey or kind of stock character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, we have like the kind of like hard ass, like kind of tough girl one. We have the stuck up one. We have like kind of like the bubbly one. I could see how it could be very very tropey, but so we have to see where they kind of go with that. But those were mine.
Yeah. They definitely played into a lot of like witchy tropes, which is fine. I don't mind it. I mean, even I don't know if you guys watched the credits, like they put in so much just random witch stuff. There was a cut scene from The Craft, in the credits, which was awesome. And just anything witchy, you're just like, boom, like the evil witch, when she was the old hag, like going down into the thing. It was like this, everything that Disney owns that's witchy was put in the credits, and I loved it. It was so like funny. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like negatives. I wanted more Aubrey Plaza.
You can never have enough Aubrey Plaza. She's always been awesome.
As of right now, I'm still not totally on board or off board. I'm still really much in the middle on what this show is, or if I'm going to like it or not like it. I'm still very much in the middle, but I think they've at least hooked me with some of the stuff. I just don't know if it's going to be, maybe if it's going to be too dark or not dark enough, or if it's going to make any sense in any of the stuff that they're doing going forward for TV shows. They could connect this with TV shows and not necessarily have to do anything with the whole multiverse. And I'm hoping that that's what the route they go. I'm just not sure about it yet. But I think this was as much as a good start as I expected it to be. A more even better than I thought it was going to be at the beginning. And then I'm going to go through the ride and see what happens. And hopefully, at the end of the story, I enjoy it.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it's around like a 75-ish between the audience and the critics. So it's a okay show. That's a pretty solid number, especially coming from a Disney show right now these days.
They're at 79 to 78 right now.
Wow. So it went up a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, let us know what you think. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the replay. Thank you guys so much. We're on our way to 2,000, so please share, like, do all that good stuff on YouTube that the algorithm likes to hear from our fans.